Welcome back to another episode of the Tip for Tap podcast, episode 27.
Found it out.
Today we're going to be talking about who is a better prospect, Wemby or LeBron, winners and losers of the NBA draft lottery, revisiting some of the craziest NBA draft comparisons, the Nuggets taking a 2-0 lead on the Lakers, and then the Heat Celtics game 2 predictions. I'm here today with Zay finally again. After a month off, he back. Let's
Bro,
go.
first off, I was on the way like last week. Why you trying?
He was here. He was here like last week. You know, Max always here. Max consistent, man.
Sorry, I have like 10 jobs, Latif. Unlike you, Mr. No Job. It's easy to do a podcast when you have no job.
Right. So I just dropped the mock draft yesterday. That video is doing pretty well for our standards. So thank you guys for showing love to that video. But I'm excited about the episode today, especially this first topic because I've been seeing this being debated by Richard Jefferson. I think it was like Christopher Serra said Wemby had to be a Hall of Fame caliber Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan caliber player, or it was like he's a disappointment. So I'm ready to talk about Wemby versus LeBron. I've been seeing people say that Wemby's a better prospect than LeBron, which is ludicrous to me. But I'm gonna ask you guys first. Who is a better prospect, Wemby or LeBron? Anyway, y'all go ahead.
You can go first. I say something. You can go first there or no?
I will. I think people forget how good like LeBron was coming out of high school. I don't know why Latif is smiling like that. Like I know you're golly, that's bad glazing. But now, like literally since he was like 15, like people are like, oh yeah, he's the next thing. And I think it's also I saw a really good point. I think it was by Draymond, which sad is that when like the wrong person says the right thing. I was like, dang, that's a good point. But that he lived up to it and surpassed like everything that's coming. So it's like, you're thinking like, oh, LeBron, he was supposed to do this. Like he was, but he wasn't. Like even people were saying like, I don't think anybody had him as the second greatest player or the greatest player of all time coming out of his draft. They're like, oh, he's gonna be really good. He's gonna be really good. He might change the NBA. But if you say, oh yeah, he's gonna be a top 2 player of all time after he retires, I'd be like, I don't think a lot of people would agree with that. And with Wembanyama, I also think is how skilled the NBA is. I don't know. I probably said his name wrong. I don't care.
Yeah, Wembanyama is crazy. The
NBA is so skilled now. It's just like if Victor was coming out like 10 years ago, I think it'd be a lot different. Then we might say the greatest prospect since LeBron or greater than LeBron. But it's just like now, say he comes in his rookie year, I don't see him averaging 25 points, leading a team to the playoffs, like making them like get 40, 50 wins. Like the NBA is so skilled now. I think he might be a really good player, but it's like a really good player 20 years ago is a lot different than a really good player now. Because a really good, this could just mean him averaging 22 points, 8 assists, and he's not even a top 30 player in the league. And that's really good by rookie or second year stats, but just like at all these comparisons, I think it's LeBron. Because LeBron came in, made a team that was the first pick. They missed the playoffs about one game, led them to the NBA Finals 3 years later with a terrible supporting cast. I don't think Victor's going to do that. I don't think anybody's like predicting him to do it. I think people just think he's going to be really, really good. I don't see him like going down as like the top 5 greatest player of all time.
Yeah, but like so hold on. With this question though, Zay, it's more like before they even touch the NBA, like actual prospects, like measuring them up as prospects, like coming out. So like disregard what LeBron did when he first got in the NBA. We're not going to talk about that. We talking about them like when LeBron coming out of high school, Victor coming from overseas. Who do you think is the better player?
I still say no because how skilled the NBA is. I think LeBron came in and was like, all right, he's going to be a top 10 player in the league, whatever. I don't see that for Wembanyama. How do you say his name? I don't see that for him just because the NBA is so skilled now. Like the stats and his measurables and his height and all that stuff is there. I think he's gonna be good, but I don't see him being as. I don't see his hype. I don't even think people say he's really good. I don't think anybody has him as a top 20 player first year in the league. I think with LeBron, they had him being a top 20 player when he came into the league, and he was.
I'll take LeBron as well as the better prospect. I think everyone's talking about Wemby and like obviously he's got great skills, got good intangibles, but a lot of people are freaking out over his size, right? He's a huge guy, right? Huge guy, can shoot, can dribble, like he's got whatever. He's got a lot of different like sides to his game, but basically he's like Giannis with a jump shot, right? He's got good defensive upside. He's got good offensive upside. But it's also just with like how the league is today. Like I feel people are just kind of like going crazy on him. But between the two, like the hype around LeBron, I don't know if it could ever be rivaled. Like in like a social media list world, you know what I mean? Like back in 2003, social media was not this crazy thing like it is now, right? And LeBron still got all that hype, right? Like you had people showing up to his high school games, right? Like you had him on the cover of Sports Illustrated, like all this stuff. Like LeBron being, I think he's way more of a hype prospect, even after all this Wemby stuff, right? Like the tank for Wemby and everything. Like I just think the fact that social media is what it is now, I think LeBron would be even crazier.
I
But
think.
as a
Okay.
as a pure player, I think like LeBron, I'm not gonna say he's more polished, but I do agree. I feel like coming into the league, like it was easier to see him as a like just good transition straight to the league, right? I think Wemby, like I think it's sad that like like his expectations now are like he has to be a top 5 player, he's a bust. You know what I mean? I think it's sad because like obviously it puts a lot of pressure on him. LeBron, it happened to him. He obviously like lived up to it, but like it's like unfortunate because no matter what he does, is it going to be good enough to, you know what I mean, deserve all the hype? But I think,
I was gonna say I agree with that. It's like LeBron came into the league and he was expected to contribute because his game somewhat translates that. People like talk about his on-court vision and how athletic he is. Victor is more like of a project to me. I think like his rookie year, like I don't expect him to like average 30 points and make an all-star team because I just see him as like he's coming first off, he's overseas, which is a whole different game over there, whole different rules. Like it's literally a different game over there. So I think, and I don't think with Popovich, especially with him probably going to the Spurs, I don't think Popovich is like, all right, yeah, just do whatever you want. We're gonna play iso ball, let you take step back threes, and you're gonna average 25 points on 40% efficiency. Like no, like he's going to take some time. I think maybe by the end, but like definitely like his rookie year, like LeBron's expectations were win rookie of the year, be an all-star, all this. I don't think anybody's really expecting that for Victor. I think people are just saying he's going to be really good. Like Giannis with a jump shot, but Giannis wasn't Giannis his first year. Giannis was Giannis after a few years.
I agree with Latif thinking that the Spurs is like a great spot for him. And like it's kind of like I don't think that like this year is going to be his year either. I think like it's going to be like a development year, right? Just get like
I don't have him top 2 in rookie of the year. I'll say
I think maybe he could
second.
just because I think
was my favorite.
I think he could just for the simple fact you're muted, Latif. I think for the simple fact that like it is Wemby's team, right? I like Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell a lot, but I don't think we'll get into this later. But I don't think Scoot is if LaMelo is still your number 1 like primary guy. Yeah. But like
Scoot not going to.
I could see. I don't know.
Brandon Miller's gonna probably go too.
I see a lot of stuff about Scoot going too. We'll talk about that in a second though, because I have a couple of things.
Also, wait, I didn't even get to answer the question though.
I'm not done. I'm still talking.
Okay. Did you answer the question? Like my bad. I was like,
me and Zay. I know. Me and Zay were going back and forth for a second. I just forgot. I was gonna say, yeah. I think LeBron came. So I was just saying, I think LeBron is the guy, just because like I think Wemby is a project. Come 2-3 years, you know, I think he'll be fine. Come next year, after getting his like feet in the water, I think he's good. But I think LeBron coming into the league, like people knew he was gonna contribute like day one. So I think LeBron's a better prospect.
I agree.
I think LeBron is a better prospect because he just had less holes in his game. Like when coming out of high school, he can literally do everything. Now the question was with his jump shot, but he can still, knock it down. He was a great defender. He was athletic. He was a playmaker. He was a rebounder. He can do everything. His game was so complete coming out of high school, and his expectations was crazy. Like at 15 years old, this man was labeled the chosen one. Like he was supposed to be the greatest basketball player of all time, and he lived up to that. Like people were putting crazy expectations on LeBron coming out of high school. Now we've seen a hype with Wemby, and that's more so because social media is at a higher level than it was back then. But even back then with LeBron, his hype was crazy. His hype was probably even better than Wemby's or more than Wemby's.
Much insanely higher. Higher.
His hype was probably higher than Wemby's 20 years ago, and social media wasn't that big. So that's what I'm saying. Like Wemby is a great prospect. He's probably the most unique prospect ever. But best, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't go that far. He can't really play make. I think he's gonna have problem rebounding. I think he needs to put on some weight. Injuries is obviously a concern for him because of being that tall and but not being really that built is a concern for anyone. But obviously he should go number one. I think he's the best prospect in his class. He's probably the most unique prospect. 7'5", 8-foot wingspan, can put the ball on the floor, can shoot. It's pretty athletic as a lob threat as well. So Wemby is probably the most unique prospect ever. I would say best. I'm not going that far. Let's pay our respects to LeBron. We like to forget who the king is. We really like to forget. You know what I'm saying? So let's not do that. People be saying I white knight for LeBron, but I gotta set the record straight.
No, you do.
I gotta set the record straight because Wemby, I'm sorry, bro. He's an amazing prospect. He has all time potential, but like we talking about LeBron James. LeBron James is probably the best prospect ever. If not, it's Kareem. I seen B Souls on Twitter say that Wemby's hype is less than Zion's. What I feel like about that?
I think that's the better comparison is between Zion and Wemby, and I think it's simply because that's what I was talking about when you were walking around. I was talking about the social media aspect, like LeBron. People go to high school games, people compare to him, right? Cover Sports Illustrated, like he had all this hype around him. Zion's hype builds up more and more because we could see him play in the States. You know what I mean? Like he was playing college basketball, so he was like right in front of our eyes watching him play. Like I think analysts have, right? Like ESPN guys and big time guys. But how many of you guys have actually sat down and watched one of Wemby's games?
You're right.
I mean? I watched them.
Really?
Yes.
Like I feel like a lot of people, like you can say casual basketball fans, a lot of whatever, just like don't watch his games because they play at completely different times, right? When we're asleep, like it's kind of like a little off, right? If you could watch Zion play firsthand, then it's different. And I feel like also the size comparison to LeBron, exactly. He doesn't have the same skill set, but like just being a force of nature, you know what I mean? Like just being a straight force in the league, people are going crazy over Zion. But
no, he's definitely probably the most unique prospect.
I think Wemby might be a better prospect over than Zion, but hype wise, I might give it to Zion because Zion's been hyped. Like Wemby, I feel like Wemby came on the scene like last year. Like people started talking about it.
I ain't gonna lie.
Like,
people talk about Zion when
he was at Spartans. When he was at Spartans, you know what I mean? Like the Spartansburg High School or whatever. Williamsburg, I don't know.
Yeah, I think Zion really got on like at 16 or something like that. Yeah,
but again, it's because he's in the States where you see him on Overtime. You see him on Ball is Life. You know what I mean? Like you see all his clips online. Like you didn't really have that with Wemby.
No, I ain't gonna lie, yo. I've been seeing Wemby for like 2 years though, because like when he was, I remember that clip he was going against Rudy Gobert. He was like 16, 17 at that point. Like it was like some Twitter hype, but it wasn't like national known television, all that stuff. It was some Twitter NBA stuff hype. But
there was a period where like Scoot was number one, and then Wemby kind of surfaced and kind of like was known as the number one guy. But there was a period where Scoot was kind of like thought to be the number one pick.
I mean, so I saw your text, Max. If you want to talk about this, we can. I'm just going to add it to the topic list. I ain't even put this on here right here, but dang it, whatever.
Yeah, I think because that's what I was going to talk about with the next thing, with the winners and losers.
Okay. I'm just going to add it real quick.
Yep. I saw that on Twitter and just wanted to kind of bring it up. I didn't know what you guys thought.
Give me 1 second, bro. All right, so what we talking about is what should the Blazers do with the third pick?
So I'll go first, and it's kind of I was going to talk about the winners and losers. I know it's like farther down, but I was going to say the Blazers are like the winners of the lottery for me because it changes significantly what they can. You know what I mean? Like it gives them a lot more options. Yes, I'm sorry, it does. It makes a very bleak future kind of look a little brighter. You know what I mean? So I think they can go. I don't know. I feel like every mock draft I'm seeing is Scoot 2. I think Brandon Miller could be available 3. I think that's the guy they should want. But regardless, I think trading the pick, I don't know. Trading the pick's kind of weird. It just depends on who you get back.
They shouldn't trade the pick. The Blazers should definitely keep this pick.
They need to trade Damian Lillard.
They should trade Dame. Keep the pick, trade Dame.
Why are you this man is 33, and this is no hate on Dame. This man is 33. Undersized on a fat contract, like bro, you're not winning a chip with him as your like we've talked about this before. He's not going to be your main star. He's also 33, regardless of anything else. If he was like 24, 23, this is a totally different. This man is 33. Like, please just let this man go because he's 33. Yet he still has insane trade value due to how good he is. How good he is to be a second player or a 1A, 1B, but definitely not enough to be a 1-star. And you put some guy like I don't know, like some top 30 players to expect them to win a championship. That's just not happening. So
with Dame, with like the lottery kind of setting in place, do you guys see any trades? Obviously, like
I don't think there is because the Blazers are really set on not trading Dame, and I
don't know. I think I feel like the stuff on Twitter. You see what Dame said on Twitter? He's like,
start a petition or something.
If the fans want to trade me, then like start a petition. So like I think if he's cool getting traded, I think the Blazers are kind of looking for trades. I think with Toronto and New Orleans, I feel like those are two teams who kind of like, I don't know, could be in the sweepstakes for him. If
Well,
they
what's
would have had,
Toronto gonna do with him though?
I'm gonna say in
I'll say
Philippines, Toronto's like the weirdest team in basketball because
they
they're in
are.
such a weird spot. So I don't know. I think like if Chicago would have kept a pick, you know what I mean? Would Chicago have tried to trade up? Like I feel like some of these like mid-tier teams would try and trade for him, but I just don't know what. Like we talked about the Pelicans in the past, we talked about the Heat, the Knicks probably would trade for him, but like I just don't know packages that they're gonna get for a Dame that's gonna be worthwhile. I agree. I don't think they should trade the pick. I think you got to start the rebuild now with
They
either
should have
Scoot
been
or Brandon
started
Miller.
it.
Yeah, they should have. I think they should have like after they traded CJ, they should have taken like a year or two to see if they could build around with Dame. Realized it didn't work, and now it's done.
Like it's not too late, but now the packages are like they had their time to like really trade Dame and get an insane package back, and they waited till he was 33, didn't make the playoffs, and he still had a great year. So that doesn't say anything about him, but it's just like now all these you bring up all these other teams are like kind of set or don't have a package that's good enough because how long they waited. Because the next 2 years ago they could have offered some crazy, they could have offered something wild.
Well, you will. Also, it could have given you RJ Barrett, who's not looked at as bad as he is now. You know what I mean? He would have been on a cheaper deal with a little more promise. And you know what I mean? Now he's got a big ass contract, and you're kind of like, I don't know what he's gonna be.
Like so, it's just like what can you get for Dame? What really can? Because you can't trade him to like a terrible team. Because then just like why would we do that?
Probably,
so you trade.
If they trade him, bro, they're gonna probably trade him to like the Nets or something like that, where you can get a lot of assets. Because the Nets have a lot of assets right now.
Well,
And they
why
have
would
some young players.
I heard
Nets
the
will do it,
opposite.
yes.
What if I saw
They're not
something? I
trading
don't know if
Mikal.
it's
That's dumb. You're not trading Mikal for 30.
was it on? Was that? Where'd you see it? Did you see like on ESPN or
on
something?
Twitter?
I don't remember. I saw that
Twitter.
somewhere. But
That's
yeah, what if
a
they trade
dumb
Mikal?
idea, bro. The only option for the Blazers right now is to trade this pick and draft Scoot. That's the only option, bro. Or draft Brandon Miller.
What?
Like I don't know.
Trade this pick or trade Dame?
Trade Dame.
No,
said
trade Dame. They
draft
should, my
Scoot.
bad. Trade this pick and draft Scoot. Trade Dame and draft Scoot. That's
So
the
are you
best
doing a
option.
three-guard
Restart the
lineup?
rebuild. Huh?
3-guard lineup? Are you doing Scoot,
Sharp
Simons, and Shane Sharp? Or are you throwing him at the 3?
Shane Sharp can play the 3, bro. Shane Sharp can play the 3. He's like 6'6", bro. He can play the 3, or he can play the 2. But if the Hornets take Scoot, then they could just take Brandon Miller. So regardless, they need to rebuild this team. They got a promising young core. I like Anthony Simons. I like Shaden Sharp, his potential in the league. I like Brandon Miller as a prospect as well. So they might as well just start this rebuild because Dame is not.
But where you trading Dame to? You said the Nets.
The Nets, because they can give you a lot of assets back, and not Mikal Bridges either. I'm talking about like you can look at Cam Johnson's a free agent, so you can't trade for him.
They got a lot of the Suns picks. They got a lot of the Suns assets.
Yeah, they got some assets, some picks they can get that you can get for Dame. Whatever team you get the most for, because the Knicks are not trading for Dame. They're not doing that. That's ludicrous. The Knicks are not trading for Dame. Probably Miami, but I don't know what they can give you.
I just said New York. I just said New York because they're a big market team. They need a star, so they might overpay for someone just to get a star. I'm just saying they've done it in the past where you overpay just to get a star in the just to get people to buy tickets.
Yeah, but they got Jalen Brunson. But I don't know, man. I know what they should do. They definitely start rebuild. There's no way they're going into the next season with Dame as a point guard. Trying to rebuild a championship team.
Are you keeping Chauncey as your coach if you're the Blazers? Or are you trying to look for a new guy?
Yes.
You got a lot of good coaches up there.
I'm keeping Chauncey. You got to give Chauncey an actual chance to like show what he can do. Maybe he can develop this. He can develop a young core. He's a players coach. He connects really well with the players, and I think if you give him a chance to like actually have some young players and try to rebuild something, then Chauncey can do a good job over there in Portland.
I think it's just interesting with so many like coach of the year candidates. You could try and sign a big guy put in there.
None of them are developmental.
But if you're telling me Bud and Nick Nurse are not good coaches, Monty Williams, none of them are developmental. They just had like a bad year. But I think those 3 guys.
No, I ain't gonna lie. But he's not a bad coach, but he's definitely the worst on that list. Bud is
a regular season coach. He's a regular season coach.
Talking about getting fired.
I think Nick Nurse might be the best coach out there right now.
Oh yeah, but Bud is actually like he's been talking about getting fired since 2019. Then they won that ring. All of him. I'm sorry. They won that ring in all of it. Not because of him. They won that ring despite Bud. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was a Giannis ring. Giannis went insane that whole playoff.
So I really don't. It's some of his rotate. I don't know. Like obviously he's good. Like you can that defense is great. Obviously they already have a lot of great defenders that help it. So I'm not gonna just sit here and say he's a terrible coach. He's a bad coach. Like he had the number one defense for like what 5 years in a row. I'm not gonna act like that. But maybe assistant defensive coach, I see that for him because the offense sometimes was just like, bro,
That'd be
was
wild if he just got bumped to the assistant coach.
But
His
I think that's
his
the worst
offensive schemes. His offensive schemes in the regular season are good. His offensive schemes, he just doesn't adapt in the playoffs. That's his problem.
I just think that's what
do you
I'm
guys-
saying. That's why I think assistant coach would feel like he could be but he will be the best assistant coach in the league by far.
Do you guys think that Doc Rivers gets a job? I know we're not talking about this. We got to hop into
No,
winners and losers.
I
Do you
don't
guys
think
Doc
so.
Rivers gets a job? Okay.
I was talking about this with my brother. They've been milking that 08 ring for him, like, oh, Doc Rivers can do something.
Yeah,
I think NBA teams are starting to see like, bro, and like my dad was talking about, he was like, oh, like they're doing this, like there's like he said something about, oh, they fired him because he was black. I'm like, Dad, there's a lot of examples to use. Doc Rivers is not the right one because he has gotten opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. There's a lot of black coaches that they just put them on a terrible the coach for the Rockets, Stephen Silas, terrible team, whatever, and then they fire him.
Culture.
That's what I'm saying. That like Doc Rivers is not the example to use, bro. This man has coached Kawhi Leonard and Paul George blew a 3-1 lead. Coach Blake Griffin, CP3 blew a 3-1 lead. Coach James Harden and B blew a 3-2 lead, and then in Game 6 where they had Game 6 on lock. So Doc Rivers is a terrible example to use, like why black coaches are like getting unfair treatment. So I think
Doc's just like, I feel like he's rode too. I agree with the 08 ring, but like he's also just rode too high on like injuries. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he got injured, that's why we didn't win, or oh, he got injured, that's, you know what I mean? Like CP3 got injured, that's why we didn't win.
That is part of the reason.
Got injured, that's why we didn't. I'm just saying,
bro,
like I feel like for the
I've
past
never
15,
seen a coach blow so many leads, bro.
For the past 15
I'm not
years,
giving him out. I'm just saying he does have some. He has some.
He's lost 10 game sevens. He lost the.
Bro,
CP3 got injured. CP3 got injured every playoffs. It feels like with the Clippers. He got injured in 2018 with the Rockets. Like I get it. He's had injuries. Don't get me wrong. CP3 and Kawhi, PG and Kawhi. Yeah, like there's been injuries. Like,
but okay, I do understand.
15 but that's years a while. 15
but
years
that's what I'm saying. Every team, bro, every playoffs has injury, bro. It was like 1 year the Warriors won a championship. Every starting point guard that their team faced, their point guard was injured. Like I remember, it was crazy. They played the Pelicans. Every team they had an injured point guard. 2019, the Raptors got that ring. KD and Clay was out. Like it's like you can't just say, oh, because of injuries, every team gets injured. I'm a Thunder fan. I always blame injuries. Like, oh, Serge Ibaka got injured in 2013 Western Conference Finals. That's why we didn't win. Blah 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 blah. But then, bro, there's been opportunities, bro. So I don't want to hear injuries are a part of the game. They are generally a part of the game, especially when it comes to playoff basketball. Grizzlies, you could say the Grizzlies, it would have been a much different series if Steven Adams was playing, bro. Like every injuries are a part of it, bro. CP3 just got injured again for the Suns, bro. And like Ja Morant missed game 2. The Grizzlies still found a way to win that game without Ja. So I really don't want to hear the injury thing.
Yeah, I didn't want to get into a conversation about Doc Rivers. He shouldn't get another opportunity. I want to do
the winners and the losers.
Yeah.
Can we talk about? I want to get into.
Yeah. I want to get into the winners and losers of the NBA draft lottery. Who are you guys winners and losers of the NBA draft lottery?
For me, I'll just go real quick. I think every team in the top 4 is a winner because I think the top 4 of Victor, Scoot, Miller, and A-Man are so far ahead of everybody else in that class. I think getting one of those prospects, you're not mad. I follow a lot of Rockets fans because Westbrook used to be on the Rockets, and a lot of them like they wanted Scoot at 2 because they already knew that they weren't going to get the number 1 pick. They really wanted Scoot. They moved down to 4. They're like, all right, Amen. They start, and now they're the biggest Amen fans. So I think that the top 4 are all winners, and then the biggest loser just number 5, the Pistons. Considering that they were the worst team, they don't get anybody in that top 4, and they just get number 5, which I don't know. Like now you have to I feel like you do so much research on that top 4 because you're the worst team in the league that you're gonna get one of them, and now you get number 5, so you get none of them now. That's bad. I think they're the biggest loser by far.
My winners are the top 3 teams.
Top 3.
I'll take Houston out, but obviously San Antonio and then Charlotte and Portland for jumping up. My losers are Detroit and Washington. Washington and like the final 11, whatever, like the final 11 combinations, they had 6 of them and they still didn't win the lottery. So that's brutal for Washington fans. You were basically had the highest majority to get Wemby, and it didn't work out. So
my loser is the Chicago Bulls. You traded for Nikola Vucevic, and you had to get a top 4 pick, and you failed to I want to say number 11.
11.
So the
they
Magic got your
didn't
pick.
fall.
Yes, they did.
They
Well,
just
they didn't fall, but they didn't
that
go
was
up.
their
They didn't go up.
spot. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't go up. So you needed a top 4 pick to actually get your pick this year. You didn't get it because you wanted to get Nikola Vucevic, and you were trash this year for no reason. So you were not good. You could have tanked even more and guaranteed you guys a top 4 pick. You wanted to compete. You didn't make the play in. You didn't make the playoffs. Well, you made the play in, but you didn't make the playoffs. And now you just were bad for this year for no reason. So my loser are Chicago Bulls. A wasted year again. Lonzo's injured. You have no direction. Probably need to break everything down. Try to trade your players for picks, something like that. But that's my loser because the Bulls did not like the Bulls. Man, they were bad. Probably also the Knicks because the Dallas Mavericks got 10. If they would have got 11, you would have got the pick. So Knicks are losers for me too. I know it's like a 65% chance the Dallas Mavericks gonna get this pick, but you know, you could have potentially got a top 11 pick if the Mavericks would have failed to 11. Also, probably want to say a loser is probably going to be who else? I had another one in mind. Damn, who was I thinking about? Dallas. Oh no, I got a winner in mind. Dallas is a winner in my eyes because you got a top 10 pick. Your tanking thing in the last game worked, and so it didn't work, and you would have got number 11 and didn't get your pick. That would have been a disaster class because like you tanked that last game. You didn't play your starters. You basically played Luka for 1 quarter and you didn't get the pick. That would have been crazy. So I got the Dallas Mavericks as a winner. I got San Antonio Spurs as a winner. Obviously got the best prospect in the draft class. Houston, I'm not gonna say that they're a winner though. I'll keep them neutral.
All right. I want to ask y'all a question then. So who are y'all out on? So I'm guessing Wemby and Scoot are y'all 1 and 2. And I said top 4 because I'm good on all top 4. So who's that? So are y'all high on Miller but not Thompson? Or
I like
I'm
Miller
high
too.
I'm high on Amin.
Oh, so
like
wait,
Brandon,
so why isn't
Miller.
Houston a winner if you're high on Amin?
Because I feel like
they could have
throughout this whole throughout this whole entire draft process, they were looking at Scooter Wemby the entire time and not other players. And once you fall out 4 and you get Amin, basically the franchise is gonna become the biggest fans of them, and they're gonna try.
But that's a good point. But who are the Pistons gonna become fans of? That's what I'm saying. It's such a clear like obviously you're mad you don't get Wemby or Scoot, but the difference between 4 and 5 is actually drastically different in this draft class.
I think Cam Whitmore could be a good player for him. That's what they should.
I like Jarris Walker. I know you keep making fun of me, Steve. I like Jarris Walker at 7. If Indiana gets him.
I just did a mock yesterday. That's why I have him taking Jarris Walker.
I thought you said there's no way that he goes top 7.
No, you said top 5. I said he's not going top 5. You say he's not. You say he's going top 5. I say he's not going top 5.
I thought I am going to Indiana. Anyways, I think that there's some depth. I think this like the top 10, top 15. I think there's some good prospects. Some good guys. I think like it depends on what you want. Like I think there's really good role players towards like the bottom half of the draft. You know what I mean? Like I think Grady Dick could be really good. I think Cam Whitmore can be good. Nick Smith, Anthony Black. I think they can be versatile. But yeah, obviously top 3. You throw Amin in there, but I think like there's like a lot of upside with the top guys. But I just don't think that like what did Houston finish with the second best record?
Second worst, yeah.
I don't think they're a winner for dropping 2 spots. Technically,
true. That's fair.
I think they're gonna be happy with what they get in Amin though. So in the grand scheme of things, they're probably like neutral.
Who's running the point next year? With James Harden, if he goes back on the point,
James Harden not going there anymore. That's not probably happening.
Why you say that?
Did you see the Bleacher Report?
I saw it, bro. I'm not going with that.
I ain't gonna lie. They've been talking
so
about
I'm saying,
if James Harden goes there, they have to. If James Harden goes there, because if James Harden goes there, he's gonna want to compete. He's not gonna want to go there with a bunch of young kids that's not going to get him anywhere close to a championship. I don't think he's going to do that.
I don't know if it's about competing. Y'all talk about Westbrook not caring about. I think it's Harden who just wants to have his own team. Everything y'all think Westbrook is, I think that's Harden. Harden just seems like he just wants to go out there and play iso ball and drop 30 a game and make the playoffs, lose in the second round.
He's not making the playoffs with that team.
Steve, so you think Ahmed's gonna go 4, right?
Yes, Ahmed's gonna put a point next year.
I was gonna say like don't say some dumb stuff, but like Are you benching Jalen Green or you just put him in the starting lineup? I didn't know if you were starting
I'm
Ahmed over
benching
Jalen Green.
KBJ. The Rockets starting lineups next year should be Ahmed Thompson, Jalen Green, Tari Eason.
I don't hear James Harden.
He's not
He's a
going
Rocket.
there.
He's a
Tari
Rocket.
Eason at the 3?
Yes, Tari Eason is a 3. He literally is.
He's a Rocket, bro. He's a Rocket.
Tari Eason, 4, Jabari Smith, and then the 5, Sengun.
He's a Rocket, bro.
Yeah, that should be a starting lineup. KBJ should be the 6th man. He's a type of player.
That'd be solid. I like KBJ as a 6th man.
All right, let's revisit some of the craziest draft comparisons. Why is that still on there? How do I take it off? There you go. All right, let's revisit some of the craziest draft comparisons over the years. So basically, I'm going to give you guys an NBA player and tell you that draft comparison. You guys tell me if they lived up to it. So first, we can start off with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. He was compared to Michael Carter-Williams and DeJounte Murray.
Surpassed, exceeded.
Exceeded.
Yeah, he exceeded that. He exceeded that in my eyes. I feel like he's already better than DeJounte Murray and
Michael Carter-Williams is crazy.
Michael Carter-Williams.
It's not crazy back then, but like
his rookie year,
the fact that you're looking at it now,
his rookie year he was tough.
Next up, I got DeAndre Ayton and David Robinson.
It's the hop. Did not. Not even close. Yeah, not even close yet.
Hey, not even fucking close at all. Not close. He's not close. Nowhere near. Like not even the same stratosphere. You know how people be like dollar store version. He's not even that. Like
they don't read the same air.
No, David Robinson's an all-time great. David Robinson's an all-time great.
Come on, man. Yeah, that was terrible. Not even close. Not at all. I gotta keep emphasizing that. Then we have Nikola Jokic to Nikola Vucevic.
Bro, exceeded.
Different play styles exceeded. I don't get that comparison as much.
No, he definitely exceeded that.
They're both tall white guys who are slow.
Yeah, with the same name. That was kind of crazy.
That's literally all. I promise you, that's literally all.
NBA scouts were so lazy with that comparison. Like, what are we doing right now? Like, that was so lazy. Next up, we got Zion Williamson and Charles Barkley or Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffin, I like.
Did he meet?
I kind of see the Charles Barkley.
Not Charles at all. He failed the Charles Barkley. He failed.
I thought you were talking about the comparison.
No. Sorry, I was just saying like the comparison, like the comparison, sure, but like no, he failed that expectation. Blake, I don't know. Blake dealt with injuries.
Healthy though.
Yeah. Blake dealt with injuries, but Blake's best year was definitely better than Zion's best year. So I'll say failed right now, but it's not great. Like he could. I think he could be Blake pretty soon.
He could be Barkley if he's healthy. That's all he needs to do is just be it, bro. If he's healthy, bro. He was, but Zion has been really good when healthy.
Yeah, Charles Barkley was MVP, bro.
I hope Zion's healthy.
Zion is a future MVP if healthy. He has to. Obviously, that's a big deal, especially for Zion. But if he's healthy, bro, yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's see what you think. You think you say failed?
Yeah, he's failed it up until now because he can't stay on the floor. So that's that simple. I'm not gonna lie. He has not lived expectations yet. But in his long season when he had like 27-7, that was pretty good. On great efficiency as well. All right, the last comparison. Paul George to Scottie Pippen.
Met.
He met it?
Yes.
Yep. Not exceeded, not failed. He met it. I'm sorry.
I don't agree. I think
called me crazy.
I think Scottie Pippen is probably the greatest perimeter defender in NBA history. I don't think Paul George is that. I mean, he's probably a great defender.
Paul George is like a top 3 current perimeter defender.
Listen. First of all, stop interrupting me.
Top 3 in like the last 20 years. So what does that really say?
That's cool. I think Scottie Pippen is the best perimeter defender ever. So I don't think he's met it. And he's a top 50 player.
And then who's better on offense? You don't think the offense evens it out?
I mean, he played behind Michael Jordan, and also.
But
Is Scottie Pippen not a top 50 player ever? Is Scottie Pippen not a top 50 player ever? Is Scottie Pippen not a top 50 player ever?
Yeah, I think it's disrespectful how PG's not that. He's not in the top 75 list. That's crazy. Hold on.
I don't think it is. He's not better than Scottie Pippen as a player.
Stop. Why are we talking about like only like his offensive thing was whatever. His offensive side was helped because he had MJ, but his defensive side didn't help because he had MJ?
I think he's a better perimeter defender than MJ.
But you're telling me that having MJ on that team does not help you out?
I mean, obviously, I'm not saying it doesn't. Now, listen.
You're saying offensively takes all the way, but defensive doesn't.
Let's look at it at face value because when comparing these players, I feel like the only thing
Scotty is better on defense. Paul George is better on offense. And even
Yeah, but Scotty probably could play make. He could rebound. He could defend. Like, what are you doing? I think he has
everything you just said. Paul George can do the same.
No. I think Scotty's a better
George can
playmaker.
score. Paul George is a
better
better scorer. I think he's a better playmaker.
No, he's not. He's not a better playmaker.
Okay.
He's a better playmaker. Scotty's a better playmaker and a defender than him, and probably a better rebounder too. So I'm gonna give an edge to Scotty. He's a better player. He's a top 50 player all time.
You got to give the edge to him. You think he met the expectations? Nobody's saying he exceeded them. You're acting like they're not in the same stratosphere.
I don't think he met him.
It's not a discussion of who's the better player. Yes, Scottie Pippen's a better player, but to say that he did not if you put PG on some of those teams, PG can contribute this similar way. He shoots. Huh?
You told Michael Jordan teams?
He is a better offensive player. Stop. Hold on. We can't be like that. He's a better offensive player. He's not as good defensively, but to say that he's not a good defensive player, he might be one of the best wing defenders. We talked about this. Name 3, 5 people who've been better defensively than Paul George over our era of basketball. PG's consistently been arguably the best two-way player in basketball year in and year out.
Yes. He's not been the best two-way basketball player.
I'm saying Kawhi has a year, but PG's been consistent. PG's gotten injured.
Bro, he's not better. He's not better two-way than LeBron. He's not better in two-way than Giannis. He's not. I don't know what we're talking about. He's not better two-way than Kawhi. He's not better when you factor in two-way, you gotta factor in offense.
Hold on. So the 3 plays he said, one is the second greatest basketball player of all time.
Yeah, I know.
One is a top 10. One is a top 10 or top 12 greatest basketball player of all time, and one is the Giannis. He's top 15. Okay, whatever.
He's like top 17, top 18, probably.
Why is he trying to be
why are you picking such weird numbers? Top 12 and top 18.
I said
not top 12. That's insane.
I say top 20. Just say top 20.
Just say 12 first.
All right, top 20 basketball player of all time. And Kawhi Leonard, possibly the second greatest or third greatest.
Anthony Davis is better two-way than him.
Bro, I don't.
It's similar. It's different positions.
It doesn't matter. When you say two-way, you got to factor in offense.
It's just the fact that it's the fact that the 3 players you said that might be better two-way players than them. 2 of them are top 20 all time, and one is the second.
LeBron is a better two-way player than him. Can you stop?
I didn't. Yeah, I agree, but I feel like I'm not even counting that because it's obvious. I'm just saying of our era, PG, he's gotten injured. We're forgetting about all his injuries too. Dude's bone literally popped out of his knee, came back. PG 13, cold.
Almost won an MVP, bro.
He's the only guy to take LeBron in the playoffs in the East. Only guy to challenge LeBron in the East over the past couple of years.
Word.
No one else come close except for a Paul George-led Pacers team. So I don't know. I think
the Celtics took them 7-2.
Huh?
Yeah, the Celtics took them 7-2.
Man, the Celtics were bombs. All
right. Next up, we got a Nuggets taking a 2-0 lead. Why do I keep doing that? Nuggets taking a 2-0 lead on the Lakers last night. We can start with Zay. Oh, we can start with me. Y'all want to ask me how I'm feeling?
I'll start because I got the worst. I mean, you guys can end it because y'all both got the biggest stuff to say. See, Zay put the glasses on. He didn't come in when his 76ers prediction was wrong, but he wants to come in when he's right. So it's okay.
Series not over.
Yeah, Zay's praying on the downfall. I don't know. It's the games were close. It was a bad fourth quarter. They didn't score for 6 minutes. I said my predictions changed from Lakers in 6 to Lakers in 7 because they're not winning 4 games straight. I don't know. I mean, the Nuggets protected home court. That's really all you got to say. They protected home court. It was a tough loss, but I don't know. I think LeBron's obviously got to handle business. There's no excuses now. You got to win both games in LA.
LeBron sold 2 games in a row. That's crazy.
I don't think LeBron sold 2 games in a row. It's kind of a weird take. It's a weird take.
Well, game one, 129, 126. They're scoring on back-to-back possessions. Out of nowhere, this man takes a pull-up 3 with 20 seconds on the shot clock. I don't care if Latif thinks it was a good shot. That was a terrible shot. They're off the momentum. They lost the game. You say you're fine with LeBron taking that shot 10 out of 10.
I said it was bad. I said it was a bad shot, but I'm fine with LeBron James taking it. Yes,
20 crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. They did it. They did it again in game 2. He's taking too many pull-up threes for no reason.
The Lakers were up by 5 out of nowhere. 3 back-to-back possessions. LeBron pulls up for 3 and misses all of them in a row. Then the Nuggets are down. The Nuggets are up 4. LeBron gets a steal. I'll give him credit on the steal. Intercepts the ball out of nowhere. Smokes the layup. And then this really didn't. They were going to lose the game anyway. Last possession in the game gets ripped. LeBron sold 2 games. I think LeBron plays better those last 2 games. LeBron plays better those last 2 games. This is a whole different series. It might be 1-1. Lakers could be up 2-0 if LeBron plays slightly better during those last 2 games.
I don't think they're up 2-0. They were getting. I mean,
bro, that game 1. If he doesn't take that pull up 3, the Lakers.
I think I texted Latif this. He was laughing at it and put it in the group chat. This is giving me this is the script is being written right now for LeBron's final arc, man. He's gonna come back and beat the best team and then beat Boston. I don't know. It's like LeBron's.
What are y'all talking about? Y'all gotta depend on the script. That's y'all. Y'all talking about me for picking the 76ers.
No. I'm just saying I can see the script. I can see the script happening. God. This is I can see LeBron. I can see LeBron with the sunglasses on. Like LeBron with the sunglasses on. No team's ever come back from 3-0, and LeBron's just sitting in the locker room, just chilling there, and come back at 7.
The Lakers are not winning 4 games in a row versus the Nuggets, bro.
Denver's they're not winning 4, but I think they might win in 7. But I think Denver impressed me. They played very well.
Bro, and I just want to talk about
Jamal Murray showed up when it mattered. He was playing very bad, but he showed up when it mattered. So good for him.
And I just want to talk about the people who said there was a lot of people on Twitter who was talking about, oh, this is great for the Lakers. You know, it's a Michael Porter Jr. hitting 3 threes and Jamal Murray and KCP to be doing this and this and they barely won. The Nuggets have been doing that all year. All playoffs, like they're a team full of shooters, bro. You can't. That's why when people were talking like, oh, they only did that, and that's not happening again. This is not the Grizzlies. This is not like the Grizzlies and Desmond Bain shooting 5 for 8 from the 3-point line, and John Morant now missing the 3, and Dylan Brooks. Like that's not the same. Like the Nuggets are Michael Porter Jr. Mr. Never Swing the Rock. That's what he does. That's like he did it again. Not to the efficiency he did it the first game, but when they needed the 3, that man was right there. Putting daggers in the Lakers. So I think if you want the Nuggets to have a bad shooting game for y'all to win, and it was very terrible that they lost game 1 with Anthony Davis dropping 40 points because we seen that happen. Good game, bad game. Good game, bad game. Good game, bad game. So next game 3, LA, he's gonna ball out at home court. I hope they win that game because game 4 he's gonna play terrible and they're gonna have to win in spite of that. So,
are you ready for me to go, or y'all got more to say? Because I need the platform.
Your mic kind of got a little weird though. Just it got whatever bass boosted or something.
I don't know what that means, but
boom.
So, anyways, last night was a heartbreaking loss for a number of reasons. First of all, we were up 10, I believe, in the third quarter. We were controlling the game the entire game.
LeBron took 3 threes in a row.
We slowed the game down a lot. By getting to the line, 1. 2, our transition defense was a lot better in the first few quarters than it was in game 1. That was really one of the biggest problems. Bruce Brown was getting out in transition. Michael Porter Jr. was Jokic was pushing the break every single play. I saw a little bit of that this game, but it was a little bit more controlled. Bruce Brown didn't have that good of a game. KCP was not as good as he was in game 1. Michael Porter Jr. wasn't that good as game 1. So this is really our game to win, and that's what's really crazy. That's what's really heartbreaking about it because for the second game in a row, Nikola Jokic did not play well in the fourth quarter, and we lost again for the second game in a row. Now, I have some blame to give. I have to cut this blame up. For number one, I feel like I don't hear a lot of people talking about this. Anthony Davis was terrible last night, so he should be number 1 on the list. People talking about LeBron James because I understand he's has to be held to a higher standard, bro. We got to remember this man is 38 and he's injured. But Anthony Davis, he shares a big piece of that pie because first of all, I want to say he was 4 for 15, 18 points, 14 rebounds, very inefficient. He was great on the defense end, but bro. On offense, we need you to be better than that.
And let's talk about his missed corner 3 that would have cut the Nuggets lead to 1.
He hit 1, but he missed 2 as well. Stop shooting 3s. I don't know who think you go. I don't care if you open, bro.
And his clutch missed free throw. I'm not trying to
he missed a lot of free throws. Well, he missed 2, 3.
He's been, and the thing is, he's been doing it because I don't know if y'all remember. It was a podcast a while ago. I remember I was still back in school. I said this one Westbrook was throwing Lakers. I'm like, oh. The Lakers playing in all these clutch, close fourth quarter games. That's why I think they're going to win the championship or go to blah, 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 because they have the experience. They have all this. They've been playing. Because y'all remember that time where the Lakers, every fourth quarter was a nail biter. Every fourth quarter was a nail biter. I'm like, oh, this is going to prepare them. Anthony Davis, he's missing these free throws right now. He's not going to miss them in the playoffs, all this stuff. Just to come back to 2 clutch fourth quarters in a row. And they play like they haven't been playing in these situations all season. That's what's really surprising me. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they would be a lot better. Literally, out of the 82 games that will play this season, at least I don't know if I'm exaggerating now, but I don't think so. At least 40, at least half of them, at least 41 of them were like 5-point games in the fourth quarter, bro.
And also, I think so. Like I said, one is AD, two is LeBron. Them 3-point shots were unacceptable. His play today was unacceptable. He missed a lot of layups he shouldn't have missed, especially like it was hard to watch that missed dunk he fumbled. A lot of missed layups that he usually makes. I actually think it's not an excuse. I think the foot is actually bothering him. I mean, he turned his ankle a few times last night. I don't know about him starting to decline. People said all that time. He's not declining. But you can tell that the injury is bothering him. I'm not going. That's not the excuse for his play, but I think he's settling for 3 points. 3-pointers a lot more than he usually does because
he hasn't hit a single one in this conference final. By the way,
yeah, because I feel like he's a little bit less confident to drive because of that foot. He can't get the amount of lift he usually gets on layups and dunks like that, and he's missing a lot of layups he shouldn't make. I'm not going to excuse him. LeBron was bad last night, but a bad LeBron night is 22-9-10. By the way. Number 3, Darvin Ham. I gotta give you some of this blame because you saw Vando playing great defense on Jamal Murray through 3 quarters. You don't play him in the 4th, but he goes crazy, bro.
To be fair, he is a black hole on offense.
That's fine, bro. But you saw that was not killing us. We were up 10. That was not killing us in the beginning of the game. We were getting out of transition. We were getting takeaways, deflections, all that.
Mike Malone's bring up a good point. He said there's no room for specialists in the playoffs.
Like I said, so.
There's no room for specialists. He's the best specialist.
Taking Vandy out the game yesterday was one of the reasons we lost. I think it was a big reason. And he also, when it was like a period of the game where nobody could make a shot and the Nuggets are coming back, and he did not call a timeout. I need you to call that timeout a little bit earlier, and stop the bleeding. 4th on my list, D'Angelo Russell. What the bro? Come on, bro. What are we doing? He's in 2 games. I feel like D'Angelo Russell has become unplayable. Sit his ass on the bench and start Dennis Schroeder.
I think that's my favorite thing about the Westbrook trade. 3 of the players I got are literally unplayable. Malik Beasley, I don't know the last time he was in a game.
He's very bad on defense. He can attack on defense.
D'Lo is unplayable, and Dando in the 4th quarter is unplayable. So that makes me so happy.
Well, what happened to you? I mean, are you just saying for the Russ trade?
Yeah, I'm just that's just me personally.
I mean, that's also. I mean, they're also part of the reason why they're in the playoffs and they're in the position they are right now, though, because they also
to lose in the conference finals. I mean, that's cool and all, but I just find it funny that 3 of the players.
You guys got bounced in the first round.
So. I mean, we were also injured, so let's calm down.
Listen. Let's calm down. So listen, I wouldn't have been as nervous or as worried about the Lakers season if we lost the game in a better fashion or it was like a nail biter, anything like that. The way we lost this game has me concerned because of the fact that Jokic was not even as dominant in the 4th quarter as he was, and we still keep finding a way to lose. Like,
what's your starting lineup next game?
My starting lineup next game, we have to change it. D'Angelo Russell, you cannot. You're coming out. So I'm doing LeBron, Rui, AD, probably put Vando in there just do some crack stuff on defense. We need to
Tristan Thompson.
We don't
wait. No. Let me ask you a question. What about I seen this? What about Max Christie? He can defend.
No. Austin Reeves.
I like Michigan State. Max Christie is not playing in that game
Austin
right now.
Reeves, sorry. LeBron, AD, Vandy, Rui. That's
fine. This is more. No, you just said. Wait, hold on.
No. AR,
LeBron,
AD, Rui, Vando. That's 5.
So you got Schroeder. No, you got Schroeder coming off the bench. D'Lo coming off the bench.
D'Lo coming off the bench. Lonnie coming off the bench.
Do you have any big? Do you have a big coming off the bench?
We don't have a big coming off the bench, but we don't have a big coming off the bench.
I also don't know you guys peeped, but before in the first half when Murray was slow, they were going over on the screens, limiting his 3-point shot, and then out of nowhere in the 4th, Dennis just started going under on everything. And
it wasn't even Dennis; it was D'Lo. D'Lo was guarding.
No, I'm talking about. Okay, but I'm saying even in the first half, like Murray wasn't doing all that, and then out of nowhere in the 4th quarter, Dennis just started like I don't know if that was a coaching adjustment or nothing, but
it was fatigue. It was fatigue. I think they were. You can look.
What does that have to do with going under instead of over?
Bro, it's harder to fight over screens than it is to go under. It's like significantly less harder.
Yeah, but then when you give up 4 threes in a row, I think you just gotta go back to what you were doing before.
Listen, that's on him. That's on him.
I guarantee LA win game 3. Guarantee.
I don't disagree. If
they don't win game 3, it's over with, bro.
Yeah, no.
I don't. They haven't lost a game at home at all. AD is bound to have a better.
We have to win both of these games. I'm not gonna lie, it's not negotiable.
Yeah, no. I mean, I think 3-1. I like being in a position at 3-1, but
no, you don't. Stop saying that dumb shit.
Yeah, no. I think game 3 and 4. I don't know about game 4. Game 3 they'll win. They're not gonna lose first game back.
Nah, AD. I think AD's bound to have a good game.
I think it's either going 5 or it's going think it's. Oh, did I just cut out there?
Yeah. Is that what
Yeah,
you're saying?
I don't know. I'll be if we'll talk about the Eastern Conference next. But I said at the start of the series, whoever wins this is going to win the championship, and especially if Denver wins this in like a bad they win this by if they win this in like 4 or 5 games. Yeah, I think Denver.
I
Denver's
know if Denver wins
killing
this,
anyone in the next series.
Denver wins this, and depending on who comes out the East, I'll wait for that to be our next position. This might be one of the most entertaining NBA finals of all time. I think so. I think it will be.
I disagree.
Nuggets and Celtics are not going to be the most. That's going to be one of the lowest rated finals in history.
I think team-wise, sure, like market-wise, but in terms of watching the game, I think it's going to be.
I think Boston's got a good fan base.
If Boston wins the series, I think Boston versus Nuggets is going to be very interesting.
But I think you're lying if you're saying that LA and Boston will not sell more tickets. You know what I mean?
They probably will because it's LA versus Boston. I'm talking about in terms of watching the game. I think Denver versus Boston is going to be it would be a good series.
I think Denver. If Denver wins this, they kill. I'm sorry.
You think they kill whoever like in 5?
I think so.
Probably 6. I think the Nuggets win that. I think the Nuggets the Nuggets right now.
6, yeah.
The Nuggets right now should be a championship favorites because they like the best team in the play. They look like the best team in the playoffs this entire playoffs. They're like the most complete team in
very few
in the
holes.
playoffs. They have the best player. They're the best player in the world right now. Coach Malone is doing a great job coaching. Like
this was a terrible year for Embiid to win MVP. By the way,
even if because Coach Malone is probably like. Bro,
he's top 5 coach.
When top 3, they've been up 30, right? And this man is screaming, yelling like at them, like
trying to ease up. Bro, he wants it bad.
Coach Malone wanted bad, bro. So I gotta give my respect to him, bro.
I think people are forgetting how good the Nuggets are. I was arguing with some of my friends; they're casual, so I really can't get too mad at them. They're like, Jokic isn't good, blah blah blah. They're gonna the blah blah blah. They're gonna get destroyed in the playoffs. It's like, bro, there's when's the last time Jokic made a foreign play? I'm like, bro, are we figuring his team has been injured for the last 2 years? Last time they were healthy, they were in the conference finals.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. It's similar to Embiid, where he's had great regular season success, but come playoff time,
but they
played
in
the bubble.
He made it to the conference finals.
No one's injured in the bubble. No one's injured in the bubble.
All right, well, I'm saying he made it to the conference finals and lost the eventual championship. We're gonna call that a bad year.
No, who did they get bounced by last year?
Murray was injured.
The Warriors. Yeah, I don't know.
Murray
it's
injured.
I'm just saying, postseason success. When you have Jokic winning back-to-back MVPs 3 in a row, if they didn't win this year and he got 3 MVPs in a row, it's I don't know.
His team was injured, though. I feel like that's last time his team was fully healthy, they were in the conference finals.
Didn't you just talk about injuries happen with the Doc Rivers thing?
Okay, yeah. Right, I did talk about that, but we can't act like, all right, whatever. That's not a good point, but it is. So I'll let you have. Let's go to the Eastern Conference.
I get you.
All right, in the Eastern Conference, we got the Heat and Celtics game 2 predictions. I'll start. I think the Celtics are going to win this game. There's no way they both at home. If they do, this series might be over because I feel like Miami's not going to lose both at home. I think if you steal 2 on the road, that's different than stealing 2 at home. That's crazy. Your work is so much your work is for the Lakers Celtics, the work's cut out for you, bro. They win 2 at home, and the Celtics this series is over. Jimmy Butler, bro. It seemed like he coasted against the Knicks, and when it was time to turn it up again against Celtics, 36 points, 6 steals. He did it on both ends. He facilitated. Bam had a good game as well.
Jimmy Butler is top 10 player in the league. Yeah,
yes. And game 1, bro. I feel like the Celtics they really blew that. He had a 46-point third quarter, which was instrumental in winning the game. And then down the stretch, Jason Tatum did not touch the ball. And when he did touch the ball, he was god awful. He did a couple travels, missed shots, stuff like that. You can see again the series is going to be Eric Spoelstra out coaching Joe Mazzulla. Eric Spoelstra is the best coach left in this playoffs, and that's been one of the biggest reasons why he made it to conference finals. He's underappreciated coach, but he made it.
He's never won a coach of the year.
He's never won a coach of the year, but he's a top 15 coach ever according to the NBA 75 listing. So he's got his flowers, but Eric Spoelstra is putting on a coaching mastermind right now. So yeah.
Well, the players that are not that should not.
Yeah, bro. That's Eric Spoelstra, Jimmy Butler, they're carrying undrafted players to the conference finals.
Jimmy Butler should be the second best player on a championship team. Yet he is getting to multiple. I don't want to speak to it, but either him getting to the NBA finals in a bubble, him being constantly in the conference finals as the best player, with your second best player not even being a top 25 player in the league, is wild. His second best player is Bam Adebayo, which great center, but that man is inconsistent and not a top 25 player in the league. And they're going to finals. They're going to conference finals. That's wild to me. That's insane. With Jimmy
Yeah,
Butler as your best, I'm sorry, I just don't see how or like why Jimmy Butler. I feel like if Jimmy Butler is going to be the best player on a championship team, it has to be a 1A, 1B situation. But he's best player by far. Like he's top 10 player, and then his second best player is like maybe top 30.
yeah.
That's insane to
It's
me.
it's been great to see what Miami's been doing. As an 8 seed, that's like kind of it's cool to see him go. We talked about this when we said like who are our keys to the series. I said Spo, and I said he could maybe steal a game by himself. Jimmy could steal a game by himself, and they already got one. So just got to do one more, and I think you're good. I think this series might go.
7.
It's obviously like I don't want to overreact after game one, but it could go 7 now.
I mean, I
I
don't think
like
that's overreacting. Last year, did it? It went.
understand,
It
I
went
still got the
7.
Celtics in 6. I
Yeah,
still
I
the
think
Celtics in
Boston
9.
Boston could come around and like just play how they're supposed to play and win 4 straight. And I don't think it's crazy to say that. I get Miami probably won't lose one at home, but
I'm
I
not winning
think
4.
it's not crazy. But yeah, no, I think Miami put themselves obviously in a great position. I said that Miami or Boston can't let Miami just hang around because Miami will have to take advantage of it because they are a good team. But yeah, no, it's really cool to see what Miami's been doing all playoffs. So I'm excited
I
to.
think them putting Kyle Lowry on the bench is also great
Yeah, I
because
like I like I like Struess and Vincent playing together. If
him
they
in the regular season they were talking about like I see Miami fans. They were like the fact that they were thirsty for Russell Westbrook told me a lot. Especially Russell Westbrook on the before you saw he did in the playoffs when he was just straight off the Lakers. They like please anybody but Lowry. And now the fact that he's actually being like a really good contributor, that was a great thing to put him on the bench.
yo, is there you think there's any chance that like Tyler Hero comes back and like messes up the vibe and they bench him?
When is he supposed to come back?
Like
Like game 3 or
this
4.
week. Do you think there's
They
any
did.
like especially with Spo being a good coach, he can make tough decisions. Do you think there's any way that happens? Like maybe he's
I
not
don't
ready and they're trying to force it and they just say we'll just roll with the
because
guys we
the
got.
thing is, as certain players, you can just come back, you put them in the lineup, and nothing changes. Tyler Hero takes possessions away. Tyler Hero will ISO out for 20 seconds and you shoot the ball. So I say they got to ease him back in. Because one is good that he is a shot creator, but they just what they have going on right now is working. What they have going on right now is working. So you don't want to throw the vibe off, but he's definitely a beneficial player to have. This isn't like, oh, he has more negatives than positives. He definitely has more positives, especially for this T team that has no shot creators. But they definitely have to find a way to ease them back in because they're going good. And if they find a way to do that, which I think Spo can, the series might get ugly for the Celtics because Tyler Hero is definitely a plus to have. You just have to use him right.
Yeah, and then Joe Mazzulla like decisions in the clutch is very bad. Like not calling, he's like a couple games he doesn't call timeouts. He lets the Celtics rock and just he got to be better. I think they had like 2 timeouts down stretch in this game. He didn't call. He likes to say it in his timeouts. I don't know what for though, because you don't get them back. You can just use them, bro. Like
I don't
so Joe
know.
Mazzulla's still learning in his first year as a coach.
I don't know what my game 2 prediction is. I'll have to say
You think the Celtics going on 2-0? You know if they go on 2-0, the
Yeah.
series is over. Bro.
I'm
The
trying to
series is
think.
over. They go on 2-0.
Yeah, I think Boston. I think Boston has.
Oh,
Okay, bye Latif. I think Boston
uh,
has to win this game.
it's more is about do you have them winning or you obviously have to win the game, but do you
I think
have
this
them
is
winning?
it's similar to Philly situation. I think it's similar to the Philly series where like they lose game one and now it's like I think they'll win this next game by a lot. Like
Okay,
they have to have
that's
a
fair.
statement win. So
Home court, yeah.
yeah, I
You
think
know what? I'll give it to Boston this game. I'll give it
like
to Boston. I think
Tatum could be put on fraud watch for this playoff. He had a great last playoff series last year, but if he can't perform last year's finals and he loses both games at home because he can't score,
I already said this. I already said this book. I have AD and Tatum are the most inconsistent superstars in the league. So AD
the
is
fact
already
that the fact that JoJo's not on that list is kind of weird.
who?
JoJo, come on, he's got to perform in the playoffs and regular season. You can't just perform in the regular season.
Who JoJo? What?
Joel Embiid.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah,
I don't
Embiid is
want.
also I wasn't calling him a
Good.
superstar, that's why. But okay, yeah. Embiid and AD and Tatum are definitely the most inconsistent superstars. AD has been proving that all playoffs with the one good game, one bad game. And Tatum, if he he's already been proving it this playoffs too. So
He needs to turn up.
yeah, I have Boston winning this game though because once again, home court. Last time they got embarrassed by Philly, game 1, they came back on game 2 and 3. So
They have not been good in the past games of home court though. They've been losing a lot.
they have.
They lost the last game in Atlanta. They lost 2 games against Philly. They lost
Letting Atlanta
one.
steal 2 games and almost a third one is wild to me.
Yeah, like they haven't been great at home over the playoffs. So obviously it's good to play at home, but still.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. That's gonna wrap up the episode today. A very good episode. It's episode 27. We gonna be back. What's today? Friday. Probably back Monday with another episode. We gotta see what happens in the next couple playoff games. Thank you, Jay, for coming on the podcast. Max, as always. I got some business to go ahead and take care of, so I'm ending right here. Subscribe to our social media platforms on the screen right here, and the link they're gonna be in the description. Thank you guys for continue to support. I think we had 230 subscribers. Trying to continue to grow. Some more content coming soon. More job content coming soon. Episode will probably be out later today. Thank you guys for watching.